tell us in school that knowledge was power, P-O-W-E-R. That's wrong. It's only potential power. It's not worth anything until you put it to use. I mean,
Don, is there anyone on this planet who knows Napoleon Hill better than you?
well, you know, but again, Doctor, I said, I know people's read it. I mean, I got a guy that does our stuff, and he's traveled with me. I've been on a speaking circuit with him, and he's a tremendous story himself. He says he's read it 325 times. But the thing that I think people miss, if I'm teaching them whatever, learn the material. That's great. Know the 17 principles and know that. Of course, it's not 17 in Think and Grow, it's just 13 steps. He had to do stuff later, but apply it. In the book, Think and Grow Rich, the word action is 77 times. You know, your wife can send you to the store to get the ingredients for a big cake, and you can come back and set it on the table. She has to take it and do something with it. And it may not turn out the first time, especially when you're first married. You get the oven too hot or too late, and then the cake gets halfway done and it collapses. But that don't mean she quit. It means she got an opportunity to try it again. But you've got to take the material and say, where does this apply to me? And where can you use it? And that's the importance of it. It's not in being able to just memorize the principles and tell somebody about it, and being able to recite them, going the extra mile and applied faith and know the quotes and all. It's what you can do with it. And that's what you should be reading it is saying, where does this apply to me? Mm-hmm. You know, it seems like in the chapter on desire, which is the second chapter, he's got the steps to riches. And the first one, it says, basically what do you want? You call it your purpose, whatever. And the second one is, it says, what do you intend to give to entitle you to what you want? And it's like people skip that. You know, there's no such thing as something for nothing. Hill told us that, and Thomas Jefferson said that was the saddest day in a person's life was when they sit down and start figuring out how to get something for nothing. In other words, what are you going to sow to reap? What are you going to give to entitle you to what you're wanting? And it's that simple. It's finding out what can you give someone that they either want or need, that they will in turn give you what you're wanting, which is if it's money. So it's the application of the material that's beneficial. Billy Ray Cyrus said he stopped to help a man. He'd been thrown out of school, college, and the doctor told him to stop in his office. He stopped, and he gave him Think and Grow Rich, and he said he read it. He said it was like a voice told him to start a band. He wrote one chapter in that book on it. He tells that story on. He entitled it Perseverance, and he said they had a little band getting $50, rough place. There'd be a lot of fights, throwing beer bottles. But then he persisted. He stayed with it and with it and with it. And then he come out with that song, Achy Breaky Heart, the girl like to dance to. And then all of a sudden he's making millions. And then we know the story of they tells the story of Miley Cyrus in the book. He actually called her Smiley, and they dropped the S when she went in show business. But it's taking the thing and doing something with it, and that's the benefit of it. And a whole lot of people, I'm sure, don't get that. And they tell us in school that knowledge was power, P-O-W-E-R. That's wrong. It's only potential power. It's not worth anything until you put it to use. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to go in jeopardy or something. You got to do something other with it. It's the application of the material that's where you can use it. It's where the benefit comes in from.